New data from national, statewide, and local organizations places South Carolina at the top of a list for eviction notices, and low-income renters are facing homelessness now more than ever. Our Caitlin Ashbaugh joins us live right now to talk a bit about those numbers. And Caitlin, what common trends are we seeing in the Low Country, and what can be done to break that cycle?
Cameron, organizations tell me it's fact. Eviction is a process that's actively impacting mostly families and renters in low-income areas, and they tell me it's been in a steady incline since post-pandemic era started. Experts also tell me there can be a variety of different reasons for the jump and also an array of opportunities to kind of cave or erase that permanence in the situation for renters.
If we don't work together and we don't try to come up with joint solutions, then we're going to continue to struggle as a state.
Experts say South Carolina currently sits at the national average for eviction notices filed in the past year, 68%.
We know for extremely low-income renters, they are one emergency, one medical bill, one anticipated expense away from potentially facing an eviction.
The number can be affected by an array of factors, including an imbalance between livable wage and the cost of rent. Deneau says the organization has assisted 1,700 households in just a year, actively showing the need for changes made.
The cost of housing goes up, wages do not keep pace with the cost of housing, so we're seeing more and more families really face homelessness as a result of not being able to pay their rent.
A relationship between gentrification and eviction for low-income families could also play a part. State experts tell me they've seen more families pushed away from developing areas and larger cities.
In areas like Charleston, in areas, when we look at the east side of Charleston, where there's lots of housing now, but it looks very different. And that's push out.
Another big cause could be from the lack of funding assistance for renters post-pandemic.
The combination of eviction moratoria and emergency rental assistance really helped to drive these numbers down. And as those protections have evaporated, we're finding ourselves back where we were.
In SC, the average cost for a notice sits around $30 to $40. On the national level, it's around $120. Experts say it's then, quote, easier for a landlord to fall into a habit of turning to eviction due to the inexpensive price tag. This makes breaking the cycle even more difficult, putting a red mark on a renter's name.
Having that eviction record is going to make it really hard to find a next place to live.
Experts tell me the best way to bring about change is by continuing to work together and making sure to combat those imbalances, leaving eviction filing on the back burner instead of using it as an initial reaction. Instead, providing livable wages, affordable housing, and just general representation to these families so it's sure that they're not left without a home. In Charleston, Caitlin Ashbaugh, Live 5 News.